80 million people in the Middle East and Africa will turn to mobile banking by 2017, says Juniper Research. In the studio to discuss the move to mobile for just about everything is Eric Claudel, Vice President Telecommunications at the digital security company Gemalto Middle East. Good morning to you, Eric, and bonjour.
Good morning.
80 million people using mobile banking by 2017. Sounds pretty optimistic. What is the figure today?
Well, today, actually, we already have a significant number, a few millions are using mobile banking. Actually, this is extremely developed in Africa and Middle East, in the countries where the access to network, the access to phone is very limited. So they actually did a leapfrog to new technologies, and people are underbanked, they want services, they are tied to queue up and line up to get some services or to pay bills, and the access to mobile is really very convenient for those people to get access to new services, and also obviously the development of the phone in particular in Africa is really an enabler to those services.
What I don't understand with this, currently about 11.9 million people, something like that, 12 million people using mobile at the moment to make payments.
Yes.
Expected to rise to over 70 million in just 4 years' time. I mean, that doesn't sound credible to me. How are they going to do it?
It does. Actually, when we look at the countries where the mobile is developing and the applications, the secured application, to pay, like when you see the movements in the US in particular, to use a mobile payment, you may have heard of CIS, which is a combined joint venture of the largest three operators in the US. They are all moving to contactless payment. So the US is moving. You even look at China. China has a massive national program to move to contactless payment through the mobile. So you really see a wave, and that wave is hitting us as well in the Middle East.
Well, can you just explain the difference between that mobile banking and the mobile wallet or contactless payments?
Well, actually, this is technology or enabling technologies. Basically, you can have I would say a level of different securities to access and different nature of services. The simple one is probably mobile banking. You want to check your account. Do I have money on my account, or can I just pay utilities through my account? And you can do that with what we call feature phone, a very standard phones, not being a smartphone. And so you really need some security, but a low level of security. This is already widely spread out. Now, when you want to pay and do mobile commerce, pay over the internet with your mobile, or just use your mobile as you would use a credit card in a shop, then you deserve more security, and you can do that contactless. Now the smartphones are coming enabled with NFC, which is
near-field communications.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is the way that, we've been told, for instance, we can put credit onto our mobile phone, hold it up as we go onto the underground station or the metro here in Dubai, hold it up, and then a payment is deducted from it. This is what we're talking about?
It's exactly what we're talking about, and this is exactly what we are currently testing with the mobile operators in the UAE as well as with the RTA. So this is already working, and is going to be launched in a few months.
Because we've been talking about it for quite some time now, and we've been told it's ready. So why isn't it here yet?
Well, I guess, latest fine-tuning, and also the infrastructure needs to be ready. The terminals need to be ready to make sure that you can have the phone, you can have the applications, but you also need the terminals. So this is coming together, and it's ready to be launched.
Now, you mentioned the 80 million people mark. Malcolm mentioned that 2017, and you said it's the access to mobiles. But how much of that increase in activity is actually down to confidence? We've just had PayPal in talking about, growing confidence in their product and people getting more familiar with it. But the mobile banking system, how much of it has to do with people's confidence in the security?
It is very important, and we actually conducted a survey in the UAE very recently, a few months ago, and 85% of the persons interviewed said they were confident. They had no objections regarding security. Now, what we need to be careful is, as people may face problems or fraud, then that percentage might change. But when we see the history of mobile, everybody is trust is built basically in mobile. So there's a high level of confidence. There is no fraud in the mobile industry. It's a very secured tool, and the network is a very secure tool. And now we are increasing that security with NFC. And actually the new generations have a very different approach than us, and they really want mobility. They want to do purchases and interactions on the move, and this is why the acceptance is extremely high.
And we've just got a text message in from a listener. Thank you very much, Faisal, saying Apple doesn't have NFC. So how successful is NFC going to be in the UAE? I understand that there's a large percentage of the population use BlackBerry over Apple products, but how is that evolving?
That is a question mark that I wouldn't be able to answer. And actually having Apple moving to NFC would, I would say, do a large effect on the deployment of that technology, but we will see soon. I guess everybody's waiting for a new iPhone to be out, but I don't have the answer to that question.
So does that mean Apple users are more at risk for
not to be ready with the technology? Yes, it is. It is a question mark for the deployment of the technology and those who own an iPhone today. Yes, it is.
The benefits of mobile banking may seem obvious. Banking on the go for all, especially useful in remote areas of the Middle East and Africa where there may not be a ready internet connection, but where there is a phone signal. But what are the big security risks as you see them?
We don't see it because we have already deployed millions of SIM cards, enabling phones to give you access to mobile banking, mobile commerce. We already deploying. For instance, in Japan, 100% of the phones have the NFC technology now, and they're not showing any problems. So we are absolutely 100% confident.
How much easier is password and identity theft over mobile networks?
There is no more probability to have a fraud on a mobile than if the security is really enabled with NFC than using your credit card today.
Talk us through the principle of mobile signatures.
Yeah, absolutely. This is I would say, European trend, international trend to increase security. We have to acknowledge that security is jeopardized all the time, and we need to progress. Technology needs to progress because robbers and thieves are progressing, and they are now digital here. And so the digital signature is really the next step to increasing security, and there is a program in the UAE to raise that security, and including the mobile digital capabilities on the phone. I think this is important.
Is the security for mobile, is it something that I as a user have to put onto my phone after I've bought the phone, rather like I would with my PC, or is it something that should be built already into the SIM card, or is it the institutional responsibility of the provider for that?
If we want that program to be successful, it cannot be the responsibility of the subscriber. It has to be handled by the mobile operators and the institutions to make sure that you are, when you get a new phone, when you get a new subscription, you are enabled to access to whatever services, government services, or process a transaction in a secure manner.
Eric Claudel, the Vice President, Telecommunications at Gemalto, Middle East. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.